And this is Samsung. It's the latest, greatest model. It's the 2025 model. It's the Q7F QLED 4K Smart TV with the 2-year warranty. Lowest price we've had on this TV. Now, we've got it in a 43, a 50-inch, a 55, a 65, a 75, and an 85. Now, it comes with pedestal stands, so you can put this on the tabletop. These are the pedestal stands. But it can be hung on the wall, but the mount is not included. You need to buy a mount, and we suggest professional installation. That's going to be so important for all of you who are looking to hang this on a wall or above a fireplace or in the bedroom, wherever you're looking to replace your television. And when you're looking for peripherals, you don't need any peripherals to get all of the smart TV apps that including QVC Plus and HSN Plus. We'll tell you about that and a whole lot more. But first, let's introduce Brett Hamilton. He's joining us live via Teams to talk about this Samsung TV and why it's so special. Hey, Brett, how are you?
Hey, David. Greetings from beautiful Sea Isle City, New Jersey. A little vacation time.
Oh,
but
okay.
Still time to hang out. Yeah. But here we go. We're gonna do it anyway from here. And one of the indicators, you know, life imitating art, whatever the cliche is. We walked into the beach house and there's a big 85-inch Samsung TV hanging on the wall.
Wow.
And I was like, that's foreshadowing. But I have my my 65-inch here and a brand new TV, David, that was just released back in May. With something, and you know, we hear the term AI now, David, just with Alex, and pretty much every time you open up an article or you're online,
right.
Samsung has their own version, and it's called Samsung Vision AI. And what it does is make your life and your experience with the television pretty much effortless. How many of you turn on a brand new TV, or maybe as time goes on, you want to make adjustments to the brightness, to the color, to the whatever, and then you go, I don't know how to do any of that. We'll talk about in the next couple minutes how the TV is smart enough that it senses what you're watching, and it says the grass should look like this, the player's jersey should look like that. The U.S. Open is on right now. We want the color of the greens to be as clean and as crisp and have that contrast really pop. So pretty incredible. And as you mentioned, David, we have sizes for just about everybody.
We have sizes for every need and every space. We have 43, 50, 55, 65-inch, 75-inch, and 85-inch. Now, here's a look at each of the sizes in a room so you can get an idea of how big it is. This is the smallest size that we offer. This is 43 inches. Then we have...
And I think the 43 is an everywhere TV. I'm sorry, David. I was just going to say before we go further, a 43 is that everywhere TV. So if you're not sure where you're going to put it, but you want to take advantage of the offer, the 43 will go in every room. But as you see, and I didn't mean to cut you off there, as we go to the 50 and higher, then, you know, you kind of customize it depending on where you're going to use it.
Exactly. And big can be great if you have the space for it. This is a 55-inch. We have the 50 to 50, 43, 50, 55, 65-inch. Oh, but wait, it gets bigger. Here's 75 inches, and wait, it gets even bigger still. Up to 85-inch TV, and that's a diagonal measurement, Brett. That must be a big beach house you're in.
Well, it's. I wish I could afford to live here year-round, but when you do a one week or two of the year out of a vacation, you kind of spring for it, and this gives it some perspective. We're looking at this 85-inch TV that's on the wall over there, and a lot of people ask me, okay, so if I've got that big TV, don't I need a massive room to put it in? And the answer is no. And before we get into more of what makes this TV so cool, I want to give you a quick little mathematical equation to know how much room you need. If it's an 85-inch TV, you need 8.5 feet from where the TV is on the wall back to wherever it is that you're sitting, and you work your way down from there. 75-inch TV, 7.5 feet, 65, 6.5 feet, and so on and so forth. So you do not need a gigantic basement or a big viewing room or a great room or whatever it might be. And there really is a TV just for just about everybody and every application. But I had mentioned at the start there, David, that Samsung has joined the AI world here when it comes to the viewing experience. And what I find remarkable about this, David, is that there's a reason, by the way, that they've been the #1 global TV brand for 19 years in a row.
Right.
And they're always ahead of the game. But what they've done is they've made this TV so smart that it's not just a smart TV with the apps and all that stuff, and I can get you there in a second, almost brilliant. Because if you're watching a sporting event, and then you switch to a TV show that was shot back in the 50s in black and white, you would expect, David, to see night and day, and not in a good way when you go to the old-time TV, so to speak. This TV will take whatever it is that you're watching and not only perfect the color. Well, if it's in black and white, it's in black and white. But if it's a color show from way back when, not only does the color look better, but it looks as if it was shot recently. We hear the term 4K, and that's the best possible resolution you're hoping for. The bummer is cable companies don't typically broadcast the 4K shows in 4K. So ESPN showing sports or whoever it is that's making and spending all this money on these productions, by the time it gets to your television, it gets essentially watered down. This TV is so smart, and you see from the shots in the studio and from here, that it enhances all of that. It's called upscaling, and that Vision AI, Samsung Vision AI, will give you the best possible picture. But here's the best part, David. You don't need to do anything to make that happen. You've got a remote that's got just a handful of buttons on it. You turn on the TV, you find the show you want, and then the TV itself will do whatever is necessary to give you that best possible viewing experience.
I'm going to hold the remote out and we'll get a nice close-up of what you're talking about, because there are not a lot of complicated buttons that you need to learn. That is one thing that is surprising about the HP remotes.
The Samsung remotes.
Or, excuse me, I'm sorry. HP is the computer.
Sure.
Yeah, Samsung.
Yeah. But do me a favor, Dave. Flip it around and show everybody the back of it, because normally nobody cares about the back of a remote control. You see that little window right there? It's a solar panel. This remote control will never, ever need a battery. It just needs to get some daylight here and there, and that will keep it charged and keep it running. And the best part about that, since Samsung has released their first remote that had the solar capability, they've estimated they've saved almost 200 million AA batteries from ending up in a landfill. So,
wow.
You know, a little bit here and there makes a big difference, and it also makes a difference in your wallet, because from the time you get this home, you don't ever have to worry about spending money again unless your gigantic cable bill. Segue to how do I get TV without paying for TV? Samsung TV Plus, David. This is super, super cool. This television connects to the internet in the same way that Alex's HP and any other laptop would connect to the internet. And you're like, well, why would I want to do that? Why do I need internet on my TV? Well, the bottom line is you now have the ability to be able to pull up more than 400 live television channels. And you're like, hang on, how do I do that? I'll show you how you do it. You go down here, this app is included. It says Samsung TV Plus. You enter that app, and inside there, you can cruise over here to where it says Live TV, and it will pull up a television guide, except the difference between this guide and your cable guide is that you're not paying for any of the shows. You're not paying for anything that's on here. And 400 channels, and as you can see, they set them up into categories for you. There's the news, there's movies, there's action and drama, reality, home and food. I'll get out of the way. I don't know if you guys want my close-up there. But you can see that all of these channels populate automatically, even stuff for the kids. Great way to give brand new content to the little ones without constantly having to pay for other streaming services and whatever it might be. And of course, for those of you asking, David, QVC and HSN are 2 of the 400 plus channels that are available here. And all you need to do to make this happen, David, is make sure it's connected to the internet.
I mean, if you decide you want to connect this to cable because your old TV was connected to cable, you still can. If you want to just connect this to internet and take advantage of all those apps, you can do that. And there are even buttons on the remote control for paid services like Prime Video, YouTube, Netflix, and a whole lot more.
That's right. Yeah, and I think that we're all to the point now where the $280, $350 cable bills, you say to yourself, okay, I watch 5, 6 channels, and I don't mean me personally. I don't watch a whole lot of TV other than sports. My wife Meg does. But we want to get to that point, David, where we can almost get them a la carte. And you go, okay, well, instead of spending $300 on cable, I'll get Netflix for $15 a month, and then I'll get my other channels over here. And one thing I forgot to show you when we were inside that menu, because a lot of people asked this, can I get my local news? And up until recently, the answer was no. But Samsung has begun negotiating and making it happen where if I go back to those channels, you'll see all of the local Philadelphia news affiliates and their local news. ABC's on there, which is WPVI in Philadelphia, not just ABC World News, actually ABC here in your market, same thing with CBS and the rest of them. So if that was the missing piece of the puzzle before. People were like, well, yeah, I get rid of cable, but I still want to see my local news because most of the shows that I don't watch on network anymore. I'm watching them somewhere else. Right. And I know all of you go, well, I want to still make sure I get QVC. Well, QVC is essentially built in to your television. In fact, not only is it available from Samsung TV Plus, but of course, because we're QVC, there's an app for it. And there's the app for QVC and HSN that we've shown you many times on other devices. That means all of the QVC live programming on QVC, QVC2, our friends HSN that move into the building soon, they're on there as well. And then all that curated original content, David, that you make so much of and all the other hosts is available in there as well, and it doesn't cost anything.
It's free. Let's just make it very clear. It is free. And people are thinking, I don't know how to find QVC Plus and HSN Plus. If you've got this television, you don't need any peripheral. You don't need any kind of plug-in device. You just choose it, you download it, and then you're in.
It's there.
This is why this is so smart and why it's time for you to upgrade your television. Because if you don't remember who was in the White House when you bought your television, it's probably time for an upgrade.
Yeah.
It's probably time for you to upgrade to a new smart TV. And Brett, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the latest, greatest model. This is the 2025 model?
Yeah, this was just released back in May. And I know a lot of people, when they see these prices, they go, okay, well, it's probably a closeout, it's probably a leftover, whatever it might be. I actually had no idea that a new version had been released until I started talking to Samsung about this particular model. And it's funny, David, when you have a brand that's #1 for as long as they've been, I always say to myself, what's the point in putting out a new one? There's no possible way the experience could get any better. And they make a liar out of me because all of a sudden the TV is easier to use. Not only does it look better than it did before, which is remarkable. And by the way, for those of you wondering, what does the Q stand for in the name of the television? This quantum dot technology, I'll break it down for you as best I can in 30 seconds, is a whole bunch of little nanoparticles, little tiny particles that are sandwiched between the glass and the back of the TV. When light hits them, depending on the size of the particle, what it does is it gives you more than a billion color variations, so that when you're watching, I keep going back to sporting events, when you're watching a sporting event, if you're watching the US Open, the grass is not the same shade on the green as it is in the rough and where the spectators are walking and all that stuff in the real world. But sometimes you watch on a TV and you're like, that's just one shade of green all across. Look at that. No, it's not the way it looks. Same thing with anything else you watch on television. So those billion color variations, David, allow you to almost look out the window and see that sporting event, or see your favorite travel show, or whatever it is that you watch, and it looks so realistic because of the clarity and the customization that goes into this processor. It's unbelievable.
We have fewer than 100 in each size, and it's important to know that these will be delivered either to your doorstep, or we have threshold delivery on the 65, 75, and 85, which means it's brought over the threshold and into your storage area or wherever you want it placed. This is important. So buy your Samsung now. If you don't remember who was in the White House when you bought your current TV, it's probably time for an upgrade. Probably time for an upgrade.
That's right.
Yeah, this is going to be available in the 43, 50, 55, and then threshold delivery in 65, 75, and 85 inch. We've got all the options. And Brett, we hope you enjoy your vacation. Thanks for spending some of your time with us.
Thank you. Be safe, everybody. I'll see you soon.
All right, let's talk Halo, but let's